with Doug Collins. This is Bob Neal. Welcome to New York City, Madison Square Garden, the site of Game 6 in the Eastern Conference semifinals between the Chicago Bulls, the defending world champions, and the surprising New York Knicks. Chicago's pivotal game in this series was Game 5 on Tuesday in Chicago. Doug and I were there for that game and hope you were too. We said then that Chicago had to defend their home court and had to have the big game from their superstar Michael Jordan. He gave them 37 points. The Bulls held their home court and won. Tonight, all the questions, all the eyes are going to be on Patrick Ewing, the Knicks superstar. Will he be the Patrick Ewing who had 34 points, 16 rebounds, and 6 blocks in Game 1? Or will it be Patrick Ewing who played with foul trouble and who fouled out with only 14 points and 3.5 minutes to go in Game number 5? The pressure on Patrick Ewing to lead this team past any Knicks team since the middle 70s is intense here tonight.
Well, so much great expectations in this city today. The Knicks have been so great through the series, and this city is so pumped up. The Rangers are out of it, so they're depending on New York Knicks. I think a couple things. In talking to Pat Riley, he's concerned that his team does not focus on the outcome of this game, but focuses on what gave them an opportunity to be here. That's hard work, rebounding, getting to loose balls, all the things, the hustle plays that he feels can help them win this game. Secondly, Patrick Ewing must be on the floor for 45 minutes tonight, rebounding, shot blocking, defending. His points will come in the flow if he gets his minutes, Bob.
And we talk about pressure on Patrick Ewing. All anybody's doing in New York these days, particularly today, they're talking about the Rangers getting eliminated from the Stanley Cup. They're not happy with baseball. They're not happy with football. They're not happy with the traffic. They need the Knicks to win. How can they survive against the Bulls here tonight?
Well, the first quarter has been important. The two constants in this series has been the team that wins the first quarter has won all 5 games, and secondly, if the Bulls bench plays the New York bench even or outscores them, they have won the 3 games. So look for those 2 things to happen. But I think for New York tonight, a good start to keep this crowd excited is very, very important.
Well, it's the biggest game for the New York Knicks since Pat Riley got here, no question about it. They are livid. They are excited. They are wild here at Madison Square Garden tonight. Pat Riley said he hoped his team was maniacal. We'll be back in a moment with the lineup right after this.
The 1992 NBA playoffs are brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers with that clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud. And by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA.
Hey, kid! Coming soon to an NBA arena, Shaq Attack. Starring Shaquille O'Neal. A must-see, 2 thumbs up, and likely to bring the house down. Also, if we've told you once, we've told you 1,000 times. He's not your normal announcer.
Halftime, bout time, rest my bod. Have a little chat with a mad brush shot.
Not your normal features, not your normal announcers, not your normal playoff show. But then again, who wants normal? NBA Inside Stuff. Saturday, check your local listings.
Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you back at Madison Square Garden. The place is already a cacophony of sound. It's, of course, a sellout. As a matter of fact, tickets outside were going for as much as $500 when somebody could sell them around the corner and not be caught by the local enforcement agencies. Jeep Eagle starting lineups. Tonight's matchups. Once again, Scottie Pippen has got to lift the level of his game. McDaniel has been awesome for the Knicks.
Yes, he has. Scottie Pippen in Game 3 had a big first quarter, 9 points. The Bulls got out 32-point first quarter, their best effort in New York. Look for them to get Pippen going early. And I think that they've got to do a better job on the perimeter people. Paxson, Hodges, and B.J. Armstrong had 28 points in Game 5. They must do a better job defensively on those 3 people.
The last time Phil Jackson was here in New York last weekend, he was ejected in the game for arguing about what he thought was poor officiating. Pat Riley said, quit whining. If you're a winner, you got to win. Last game, when the Knicks lost, a couple of the Knicks said, well, the officiating was really going our way either, but Xavier McDaniel stepped in and said, it is time for us to not talk about the officiating, but to get out and play. Patrick Ewing, the man under pressure tonight. They need him to achieve the superstar status that they hope he has to lift this team to the next level. Michael Jordan certainly has done that with the Chicago Bulls. So Patrick Ewing under pressure tonight. He'll jump it up with Cartwright, who did an excellent job of forcing Ewing off the block and away from the boards in game number 5 in Chicago. Oakley to McDaniel. Joe Crawford, Jess Kersey, Joe Forte are the officials. Jackson to Oakley, looking to post Jackson against Paxson. And the Knicks open up with scoring, and that's the first time we've seen that in 3 games.
Well, Mark Jackson has a size advantage over Paxson. He's actually a pretty good low post player. The problem you have with that is when he posts, you must be careful to protect the back court defensively.
To Grant early, now Jordan. Pippen open from the outside. He continues his shooting woes, but gets the long rebound and a new shot clock.
I think he wants a 20-second timeout. He got trapped over there in the corner, so Chicago using a quick 20-second timeout. I think the one thing, though, if you're Pat Riley, you've got to pick up that loose ball. You force Pippen into the jump shot, Bob. The ball comes back. McDaniel was worried about releasing. He's got to get the long rebound.
Phil Jackson with his charges. You see B.J. Armstrong right to the right of Phil Jackson. He's the only bench player who has really stepped up big for the Bulls. The Knicks bench has really proven the difference when the Knicks have won.
Well, B.J. is the only one that's played over 20 minutes. The other bench player playing 11 minutes, Will Perdue and Scott Williams about 9. So whereas New York is going 8 deep to their bench with guys over 20 minutes, 8 players over 20 minutes, Chicago has 6 players over 20. So he's relied a little bit more on his bench, speaking of Pat Riley.
All right, the 20-second timeout called by Pippen. 22 on the shot clock. Knicks up 2-0. Bulls looking for their first score of the night. Paxson defended by Jackson. Oakley down on Horace Grant. Key matchup here. Horace Grant needs to step up also. And does, and it's tied at 2.
Well, Horace Grant needs to use his speed and quickness against Oakley. He does not want to get into a situation where Oakley can rub up and push up against him and use his muscle. Speed and quickness is the name of the game for Horace Grant.
Looking for Ewing in the post. Trouble getting him the ball in game 5. Ewing open for the bucket, and they love it at the Garden. 4-2 New York.
Everybody was waiting with their breath and holding their breath, Bob, waiting to see what the results of that shot was going to be. New York fans very happy Ewing hits his first shot.
Grant posted low. He had lost Oakley for a moment, but now back to him. 10 to shoot for Chicago. Jordan with 6 on the clock. Rebound Ewing. Wilkins has McDaniel and Jackson. Wilkins.
Well, you have to like the flow of the game right now. If you're in New York, they've gotten 3 very good shots at the basket with 3 possessions. And also, you're also seeing Chicago using a lot of shot clock. That's very important for New York, that the more the shot clock goes down for them, the better their chances are going to be.
Paxson, good move on the dribble around Jackson, and he drops it from about 15 feet. 6-4 Knicks. Opening moments, first quarter from Madison Square Garden. Foul on Horace Grant. First team foul.
Bob, when we talk about the officials tonight, we have 3 very good officials in this basketball game, so I expect them to have complete control of this game and make sure that it's well played by both teams.
Knicks up 6-4. Ewing wanted to take it in, the double team, and the steal from Pippen. Fouled by McDaniel on the drive.
See, I'm a little surprised that Patrick Ewing wanted to put the ball on the floor, because when he puts it on the floor, there's going to be a double team. Whoever's at the top of the floor is going to come get him. I think Pat Riley would just as soon he took that little medium-range jump shot, at least get an attempt at the basket.
Knicks by 2. Jordan off the Pippen pick and gets his first move of the night.
Well-executed play that time by Chicago. Excellent screens. Michael Jordan, a wide-open look at the basket.
The Knicks come down quickly. McDaniel gets it to Ewing. He has 4 early points. Paxson missing. Oakley with the loose ball foul.
It's a good call. Scottie Pippen had inside position, and Oakley gave him a push.
We all saw that one.
See, it does not hurt for Oakley to get in foul trouble. They have Mason, but they cannot let Ewing and McDaniel get in foul trouble. Those 2 guys have been the bulk of their offense. They need the minutes on the floor.
Knicks by 2. 9 minutes to go first quarter. Grant from 18 feet. Long rebound controlled by Jackson.
Ewing, good post position. Again, they need to swing it back and let him get another look at it.
Good move by McDaniel into Oakley, who can't handle it. A couple of good entry passes to Oakley in Game 5 were not handled well. Pippen hits Paxson on the perimeter to Jordan. Now the Knicks are finally back.
You can see the real commitment when Scottie Pippen gets out on the break. They're really trying to match to him. They do not want to give him any easy baskets. Make him struggle shooting the outside shot.
5 to shoot for Chicago. Paxson gets the Grant pick over Oakley. Big bucket from John Paxson, tied at 8.
John Paxson hit some big baskets in Game 5 also. I thought he was sensational the other night. In the 3 quarters that he played, 13 points, 7 of 7 from the foul line, and played a very inspired game.
McDaniel in the paint shoots an 8-footer, his first bucket of the night. Xavier McDaniel averaging 18.5 points in this series and 5 rebounds. Knicks by 2. Cartwright can't handle it. Chicago turnover, and the Knicks control, leading by a basket. Knicks haven't missed a shot yet, by the way. They are 5 for 5 from the floor.
They're in a very good rhythm offensively right now. Ewing should just go right up to the shot right there.
He has 6 points early.
See, Cartwright can't block his shot, but if he's going to put the ball on the floor and come in the lane, he's going to have someone run at him and try to create a turnover, as Pippen did earlier in the ball game.
Knicks by 4. Extending the defense out on the perimeter. 8 seconds to shoot. No place to go with the ball. Cartwright from long range. Big bucket over Oakley on the switch.
Yeah, they did get the switch. That's a good call, and Oakley cannot bother Cartwright's shot, so all he has to do is go up with it. So when you got the switch, you go to the mismatch.
Back to Ewing. In the paint, Jordan almost got the block from behind.
Anytime Ewing puts it on the floor, he's going to have someone coming at him. He can count on it.
Jordan pulls up for the jumper. Rebound McDaniel.
Boy, Xavier McDaniel's looking to push the ball up the floor and create some opportunities.
Oakley almost fell down.
That wasn't pretty. Now, if Oakley gets his basket.
Nobody has ever called Charles a pretty player. We've seen him miss a lot of interior layups. He's an incredibly good rebounder. Does not have good leaping ability or finishing ability. 12-10 Knicks, 6:38 to go first quarter. New York Knicks up by 2. They hit their first 6 field goals, missed their last 2, but they're shooting 75%. Chicago 5 for 10. Jordan's 1 of 3, and Ewing has 6 points. He's 3 for 4 from the floor, but every time he puts it on the floor, he's been in trouble. Pippen with 1 big steal.
Scottie Pippen is a guy that they want to continue to do a very good job, because this is what happens now. When he puts it on the floor, from the top, they're going to come get him right here. So Patrick has got to be very, very careful. Anytime he goes there, they're going to come down from the top. Maybe he can go baseline with a dribble, not back to the middle.
Bulls looking to tie it at 10 on the shot clock. Jordan pulls up over McDaniel. Michael has 4.
See, Michael is such a difficult cover in the post because he's so quick and elusive in there, and he can jump over you, so he has all the skill of a bigger player in the post, but with the speed and quickness of a smaller man. Now just take that jump shot. He's going to get himself in trouble if he puts it on the floor there.
McDaniel, good move off the dribble, misses the jumper. Rebound Cartwright. Chance for the Bulls to take their first lead of the game. Jordan dumps it to Grant. Good interior defense by New York, however. They'll start it all over again.
There's, again, Michael Jordan in the post. This is trouble.
Over Wilkins. That'll be a jump ball at center court.
This should benefit New York because you expect Ewing to get the tip against Bill Cartwright. Michael in the post again. The quickness of Michael Jordan, and then he can jump over you. You see Gerald Wilkins with a nice hand in the face to contest the shot.
5:47 to go in the first quarter, tied at 12. From Madison Square Garden, this is Game 6. Bulls lead 3-2. Ewing does win the tip, as Doug pointed out, and the Knicks come away with the ball. So that amounted to a very complicated offensive rebound.
Correct.
Larry Jackson.
See, Jackson wants to try to back Paxson down and shoots a little jump hook.
Gets it to Ewing from 18 feet. Patrick Ewing, feeling it tonight, has 8 points.
I like it when he just takes the shot. I think when he puts it on the floor, he gets himself in trouble. Again, I know I've said that 2 or 3 times, but Patrick is a very good shooter.
Now Cartwright facing up, going in on the left hand. McDaniel comes in, strips the ball. Jackson, it's a 3-on-1. McDaniel with a jam. I
think John Paxson would have liked to have taken a foul on down there, but Mark Jackson ran that so perfectly, Paxson could not commit the foul. He took it as far as he could, then got it to McDaniel.
Pippen with the pull-up jumper. Still struggling. Remember, Pippen playing with a sore ankle. He has not had his body under him successfully since he hurt the ankle in Game 2. So Scottie Pippen really struggling, has yet to score tonight.
Well, he was 4 for 11 in Game 5 and and in Game 4, 4 for 13.
Paxson was open as Jackson went into double team.
Well, that guy will not miss, and Mark Jackson's got to stay home on him because John Paxson and Hodges and Armstrong will really shoot it.
McDaniel with the jam. 2 consecutive baskets from the X-Man. He and Ewing have combined for 14 points. The Knicks up by 4.
Easy scores make jump shooters go well to the basket, so
Michael couldn't handle the pass. It's Knicks ball, up by 4 points. The crowd starting to get excited here at the Garden.
My point is, when you give McDaniel layups, then he's going to be more inclined to make the outside jump shot. The nature of this sport, Scottie Pippen struggling. He's not getting easy scores. His jumper is having a difficult time falling. There's a post up again of Mark Jackson. They feel good that he can post. Someone's got to protect the backcourt, though.
He was waiting for the double team. It wasn't coming. Pippen comes away with a big rejection.
Take a foul. You got to take a foul. Don't let Pippen get inside.
Ewing took the foul by stepping in front of it, and Pippen missed it, goes down hard. Scottie Pippen said of his ankle that it eliminated the lift he needed. It looks like he's hurt his ankle again. You can tell by him getting up that he's very tender on that ankle.
Well, here comes Scottie Pippen from the weak side. The shot block. You see the speed and quickness to the ball. Now, I thought Gerald Wilkins should have taken this foul right here. I thought Gerald Wilkins should have gone. He gave it to Ewing. And they now have an opportunity, the Bulls speaking, when they attack the basket to possibly get him in foul trouble, something New York just cannot have happen tonight. Be interesting to see now as Pippen steps up to the free throw line, the confidence with which he shoots these free throws.
You see that Game 3, Scottie Pippen was successful, but has struggled in all the others in this series. Not any confidence at the line. He continues to struggle. And remember, he and Michael Jordan became the best tandem in the NBA by anybody's judgment. And with Pippen not playing that well, this is not the same basketball team.
Well, what has happened is New York has the ingredients to make Pippen struggle. They have quick, strong players on the perimeter that are going to put a body on you, and they're going to take away your easy scores. So Scottie has become a perimeter player. That has really hurt not only him, but Chicago in their offense. Their offense, 90 points a game after averaging 110 on the season.
Knicks by 3, 3:55 to go first quarter. Along with Doug Collins, Bob Neal at Madison Square Garden, Game 6, Eastern Conference semifinals. There's the trap. That was stereo. Wilkins open from the corner. The rainbow doesn't fall. Paxson has it 2-on-3. Jordan pulls up. Wilkins was there. What a pass by Jordan to Paxson, who missed the jumper, a rarity.
Well, you see, though, New York is just not letting Chicago get all the way to the basket.
McDaniel trying to draw the foul from Pippen, but not getting it.
For long shots mean long rebounds now, Bob.
Jackson for 3. Brick. The officials aren't sure whose ball it is. Now they decide it belongs to Chicago. Pat Riley, St. Pat.
Well, he's done a tremendous job here in New York. I think the effort that his team has put forth, not only in this series, but all season long. They finished it on a sort of a sour note. Boston slipped in, won the Atlantic Division, but went to training camp again right before the playoffs, and this team has really responded.
Knicks had held on to the Atlantic Division to be playing Cleveland.
That's correct.
Paxson into Horace Grant. Ewing right in his face, got a piece of it.
The importance of Patrick Ewing staying in the game, right there. Comes over, bothers Horace Grant's shot. Without him in there, they have no shot blocker.
Knicks by 3. Low-scoring first quarter once again. 2:37 to go.
They're going to come over and double-team McDaniel. Interesting move. They leave Oakley underneath the basket.
And Oakley gets the lay-in this time. It's a 5-point New York lead.
Interesting. I have not seen that in the series. They're giving Pippen help in the post right now. Grant comes over on the double-team. Oakley with a beautiful pass. Michael Jordan a little slow on the rotation.
The New York Knicks have their biggest lead of the game with 2:22 to go in the first quarter.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Chicago making some personnel changes, trailing by 5.
Xavier McDaniel had a big game in the post in game 5. You see the double team. Horsgrand comes over. He leaves Oakley underneath the basket. Paxson is playing Gerald Wilkins. You see Cartwright playing Ewing. Michael's playing two people. He lets Oakley get inside of him. And although Oakley does not have the great lift, he does muscle that in the basket. B.J. Armstrong checks in the game now.
What kind of pass was that?
Well, it looked to me like he tried to lead Bill Cartwright to the basket, speaking of Michael Jordan, and Bill just couldn't move to go get it. He claimed that that Ewing held him.
You can lead him to the basket, but you can't make him catch the pass.
That's correct.
The kick out to Jackson on the drive. Now back to Wilkins with 5 on the shot clock. Rebound Pippen.
Transition defense, very important. Oh, he walked.
No call, and the big jam from Pippen, and that could get him started.
He got away with one there. Scotty took the extra half step and the big dunk. That's the first time Scottie Pippen's been able to get to the basket.
3-point Knicks lead, minute 35 to go in the first quarter. Into Ewing, he has 8 points already.
You see the double team, B.J. Armstrong coming down from the top on Ewing.
Ewing's second miss of the game, and a chance for the Bulls to pull to within 1 or better.
Pippen's doing a good job on the defensive board. That's about 2 or 3 defensive rebounds for him and a couple block shots, so he's very active, although he's only scored 1 basket.
4 total rebounds for Pippen already in this game. Michael Jordan denied the lane by Wilkins. Oakley with the double team. Cartwright alone. And Ewing finally gets it. The man who committed the work there was Xavier McDaniel battling Horace Grant.
New York's got to be very careful here. They need to get a good possession, slow this down a little bit. Chicago trying to establish a little tempo. Ewing wants the ball in the post against Cartwright.
He loves that move on the baseline.
See, when he goes baseline, he gets no help. When he comes to the middle, Chicago's going to come down the top. So if he wants to go baseline and shoot the jumper, he's going to have one-on-one play against Cartwright.
In game number 5, Ewing had only 14 shots the whole game. He's had 7 already in this quarter. Tip into the hoop. Ewing with the rejection.
Well, they need to hold it up here now. They got the shot clock. There's about a 7-second differential. They want to make sure they get a good possession here and a good look at the basket. Up 5, chance to go up 7.
And remember what we've said about the team that wins the first quarter has won every game in this series. Ewing has 12. Knicks by 7.
They're using Mark Jackson as a post player. He's getting the double team and finding Ewing on the open shot as Cartwright double teams.
Armstrong missing from the perimeter. That's the buzzer ending the first quarter. Knicks lead it by 7. The team that has won the first period has won every game in this series. Mark Jackson has 9 assists. Ewing has 12 points. The Knicks are shooting 57%, have not been to the free throw line yet. 9 rebounds to Chicago's 9. Ewing has 12 points, Jackson 9 assists.
Well, if we hold it right there, we see this replay. Here's what's happening. Jackson is backing down. Cartwright's coming to double team. Now what Chicago has elected to do is keep Michael Jordan at home and have B.J. Armstrong try to recover to Ewing. I think they're going to have to change the rotation. Ewing's hit about 3 jump shots off this play. It'll be interesting to see if Chicago changes their defensive strategy.
They said Patrick Ewing would have to come up big tonight. 12 points in the first quarter for Patrick Ewing. He's also been big on the boards with 3 rebounds, holding to Chicago to 38% shooting, and you can see the paint has been denied the Bulls.
Scott Williams in the game, Will Purdue in the ball game. Pippen and Jordan remain with B.J. Armstrong.
Pippen on the penetration, dumps off to Purdue for the jam.
The importance of Pippen being able to get inside. He draws Ewing. Ewing comes over to attempt to block the shot.
Mason with the drive. It was booted out of bounds by the Bulls. 17 on the shot clock.
See, when Ewing comes over, someone must rotate down to pick up his man. You do not want to allow Will Purdue to get easy scores. I keep saying easy scores, but in a game that you play a 90-point game, you've got to make people earn everything. Boy, great inside position by Ewing on Will Perdue.
Perdue holding Ewing and called for the foul.
I think New York realizes that Will Perdue does not have the strength to play against Ewing, so with Cartwright out, look at the interior position. See, he can't get that kind of position against Cartwright. Cartwright gets him off the block, he becomes a jump shooter. Against Will Perdue, he becomes a lane player and gets inside. You see him how deep he is now.
The double team leaves Jackson alone. He misses. Rebound Pippen. 24-19 Knicks.
Bobby's got to be able to make that shot. That's a 15-foot shot. They're going to double team. They're going to make him make that jumper. He has got to deliver that.
Pippen on the drive. Good defense to Perdue. His reverse doesn't go. Williams can't hold on to it. Pippen chases it down. It belongs to Chicago.
Great hustle, though, by Scottie Pippen. Did not quit on the play. Went to the corner. He and Mark Jackson went down. Boy, they could have very easily been injured. They slipped on warm-up jackets over there in the corner. But here's the great hustle. Look at Scottie Pippen, the great hustle. He and Mark Jackson, and you see them slip on the warm-up jackets. I remember playing in the league when I played. A guy did that and injured a knee and had to have surgery. You have to be very careful with those towels and jackets over there on the sideline.
Hodges in for Jordan.
Hodges hurt New York 2 threes in the second quarter when they made the little run in Game 5.
Scott Williams, the rookie, to Perdue. 2 centers in there. Perdue lost the handle and the turnover.
Will Perdue tried to do a little too much on that play. Will, when he puts it on the floor, I don't think is the guy you want to go to on that shot, although it looks to me like he's trying to go at Ewing, maybe get a second foul.
Well, Purdue's under a lot of pressure because of his 1-900 number.
Yeah.
It's the talk of Chicago, and today they printed, he says he's going to the city of garbage and traffic.
And graffiti.
And they printed that in the New York Post today. So Will said he'd had a couple of comments. Perdue with the foul on Ewing's turnaround jump shot.
Not only that, but a goaltend. Again, the interior position that Ewing gets against Perdue. Against Cartwright, he's a 15-foot jump shooter. Look where he catches this ball. 5 feet from the basket, and there's the goaltend on Williams. So a 3-point play opportunity now. You see Phil Jackson's going to come back with Horace Grant. It's going to be interesting to see who he comes in here for. He's going to come in for Perdue. That'll put Scott Williams on Ewing, and that'll put Horace Grant on Mason. So they want to try to change the matchup, not liking the Perdue and Ewing matchup, Bob, because of how deep he can catch the basketball.
Knicks by 7, 10:31 to go in the first half. Ewing, who's been struggling from the free throw line, continues doing that. Patrick shooting only 69% for this series. Bulls shooting 68% for the series, and Knicks as a team only 70. They both missed a lot.
You see the respect that Gerald Wilkins has as a defender. Michael Jordan goes out of the game, and Gerald Wilkins goes over and plays Scottie Pippen.
And the technical foul is called on Will Perdue on the bench. Oh, that made Phil Jackson very happy. Mark Jackson will take the free throw. Knicks by 7. Starks taking the free throw, excuse me. He just came into the ballgame. Starks, Anthony, Oakley, Wilkins, and Mason on the floor for the Knicks right now.
All right, let's look at the matchups. Anthony on B.J. Armstrong. He cannot leave B.J. and allow him to get open jump shots. B.J. Armstrong, a very capable shooter, a lot like John Paxson. You have Starks playing Hodges. He cannot leave him. You have Wilkins against Pippen. He wants to pressure. You have Mason against Grant. You have Oakley against Williams. So right now, Pat Riley trying to buy some time as Chicago is going with a smaller lineup, trying to give Ewing a little rest. When Cartwright comes back in, I'm sure he'll try to come back in the ball game, maybe by 2 or 3 minutes. The key matchups here, Starks cannot leave Hodges, and Anthony cannot leave Armstrong.
Pippen beats Wilkins off the drive, misses the layup. Rebound Mason.
Another concern, without Patrick Ewing in the game, no shot blocker. Pippen took the ball right to the basket.
Pippen only 1 for 5 shooting tonight. Knicks by 7, under 10 minutes to go first half. Shot clock to 8. Anthony with the pull-up. He can shoot it, no question about that.
It's important for him to play good basketball, sound basketball, not get too frantic and erratic. I thought in Chicago in the second quarter the other night, he got a little bit frantic and the pace hurt his team.
10 to shoot, down low to Williams. He loses the handle. Battles it up and in. Tough power move by the rookie from North Carolina. You like his potential.
I really like his potential. I think he is a power forward. I don't think he's a center, but I like his potential. I like the fact that he can catch and finish around the basket. He's a hard-nosed player and can block shots.
He can get 4 quick fouls as he did in Game 5, too.
Yes, he can, because he's going to play aggressively, and he's not going to give up anything easy at the basket.
Wilkins with a run at the basket. The ball is knocked out of bounds off New York. It belongs to Chicago. Michael Jordan got, what, about a minute's rest. He comes in for Pippen.
Well, you can see the strategy. Give Michael a little bit of rest. Keep Scotty on the floor with the second unit. Now you give Scotty a little rest, and you bring Michael back on the floor, because those guys make the second unit of Chicago. They will deliver for them with the second unit.
Jordan lost the handle on the dribble. Starks. A 9-point Knicks lead.
I think that Craig Hodges underestimated the speed of John Starks there. He let him get by him, let him turn the corner.
What do they call Craig Hodges' defense? Highway 14. Jordan from 19. Counted, and he's fouled by Gerald Wilkins. Craig will have something to say to me about that. But as we know, Craig Hodges' job is to hit those threes.
Well, you see that with BJ and Hodges being on the floor, this is Michael Jordan. I mean, what a sensational shot, and it's a good call. A lot of times you see these guys try to defend shots, and you can't block the shot, but you try to go and hit a guy on his elbow, and he hit Michael on the elbow. Michael with a great finish.
Michael was 15 of 17 from the line in Game 5.
And he was only 68% up until that point in the series, so they needed all of them the other night.
He misses here. Knicks by 7. 8:40 to go in the first half. Greg Anthony, the rookie from UNLV.
Boy, McDaniel against Michael Jordan. Interesting matchup there. See if they can get him the ball in the post.
8 seconds to shoot. 6.
See, Anthony sometimes over dribbles.
Starks for 3. McDaniel kept it alive, but Grant comes up with it to Jordan.
Here's where Anthony cannot leave B.J. Armstrong. He's got to stay with him. You got to identify shooters on the floor.
That time Anthony left the court.
I think you're going to see Pat Ewing back in the ball game real soon. Pat Riley's not going to allow Chicago to get too much of a run.
Here he comes now. Knicks by 5. 10 on the clock. Starks with the penetration. He's a great leaper. Couldn't finish. Bulls can cut it to 3 or better.
Did everything right except make the shot.
Armstrong, hard foul, no foul. Oakley leveled him, no foul, and it'll be Bulls ball with 17 on the clock. B.J. Armstrong can't believe it. Ewing's back in.
I think the rule is here, once the shot is blocked, all contact becomes incidental. There's the shot block and the incidental contact. I guess it's incidental if it's on someone else.
Now Anthony holding Armstrong, and El Forte with the whistle.
That's a 2-shot foul, and you see Pat Riley over there. He's got his hands in his head. Those are the kinds of plays you can't make in these kind of ball games. You're not in the penalty yet, and now you make the foul, and he goes to the free throw line to shoot 2. So B.J. Armstrong gets an open jump shot, and now he's going to shoot 2 free throws. He's one of the better free throw shooters on the Chicago Bull team, shooting 85%, 11 for 13 in this series.
7:41 to go in the half. Knicks by 5. Both teams with 2 team fouls. Cartwright checks back in.
We talked about Chicago. When they shoot a lot of free throws, what it also enables them to do is to press. And so I think you'll probably see them put on some pressure defense here. As B.J. Armstrong makes his free throw, you're going to see probably Scott Williams up on the ball and try to force some pressure to up-tempo this team. That's the way they can get the tempo in their favor.
Bulls have gone very big with Grant, Cartwright, and Williams on the front line. Chicago with 6 straight points now. They trail by 3. Knicks guards Starks and Anthony can either get them into the game or out of the game with their play. We've seen it all throughout the series.
McDaniel with a great post move and just doesn't finish the shot. That's about 3 shots that New York has missed right at the basket, right at the rim.
Knicks by 3.
Somebody better come double team Michael. He's going to get to the basket. It's going to be trouble.
Illegal defense called against the Knicks.
Great move here by McDaniel. He does everything right. Beautiful spin move. takes it to the other side, so you take away the shot block opportunity and just doesn't finish the shot. Starks, the play before, missed a little point-blank layup.
Starks intense with his defense of Jordan. Nice steal by Anthony. Anthony has Starks with him.
That's 2 shots. That's 2 shots.
Yes.
That's called clear possession to the basket. BJ tried to take the foul. He was too late getting there. That's why it's hard to get upset at Greg Anthony. He plays so hard. He makes a mistake. You want to get down on him, and then he recovers and makes a great steal, and his speed and quickness cause Chicago problems.
Knicks continue to lead by 3. 6:57 to go in the first half. Bulls have pulled to within 3 with 6:57 to go in the half.
Well, they've done it with good defense, and as Patrick Ewing sat down, the Knicks have had trouble scoring points. They've only scored 6 points in about 5 minutes and 3 seconds in this quarter, but their strength of their defense has been able to contain Chicago and keep them with the lead. So we'll have to see what happens. Both coaches doing a lot of shuffling here with their lineups early in this ball game. I think New York's had some great opportunities around the basket. They've not been able to finish, but their interior defense has been good. They've been forcing Chicago to stay outside.
Anthony steps to the line. He's only a 50% free throw shooter in this series. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Doug and I will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game.
It's so important for Anthony and Starks to play well for New York because their speed and quickness and their defense ability really helps them against Chicago. When they struggle and they have to go to Mark Jackson for a lot of minutes, he gives them great stability, but he does not give them the kind of pressure defense that you see Anthony putting on B.J. Armstrong to try to disrupt the flow of their offense.
Knicks by 5. Looking for Jordan posted against Starks. Jordan has about a 20-pound advantage and about a 1-inch advantage. And a talent advantage over everybody in the league.
It appears that Michael is very comfortable playing against Starks, but he is not quite as comfortable playing against Wilkins. And I don't know if because Wilkins is a little bit bigger, but he shoots over Starks at will.
Starks only weighs 175 pounds. He is 6'5". Xavier McDaniel from 19 feet. Knicks by 5.
Remember, you get those easy layups and those outside jumpers fall a lot easier.
Horace Grant defended by McDaniel. That's the pick from Cartwright. Now the switch. Grant had that, I thought, partially blocked by Ewing, but Grant's the jumper. It's a 3-point game.
They're using Horace Grant a little bit on the screen roll tonight. They're playing a screen roll with he and Patrick Ewing, and doing so, it's forcing Ewing out to try to cover, and it's giving Chicago a little bit of advantage inside, especially if Grant continues to hit that shot.
10 to shoot for the Knicks. Cartwright comes away with a ball and the foul. For Bill Cartwright, that's his first personal.
See the difference, though, where Patrick Ewing posts up against Cartwright. He's out of the lane about 4 feet, and with Will Perdue, his head was underneath the basket. That's simply because of strength, and Bill Cartwright knows how to use his body and muscle Patrick Ewing away from the basket. Now Starks needs to make this shot wide open.
He does that. Starks has 4. Knicks by 5. 5:32 to go in the first half.
Now, Chicago has 3 layups in this game, and they're all dunks. Anything around the basket, they've been able to finish with a dunk.
Pippen left alone for just a moment. He misses again. McDaniel behind the back, misses the jumper. Rebound, Starks!
John Paxson did not get his body on Starks. We talk about hustle plays, and we talk about extra shots. We talk about offensive rebounds. John Starks made a big play right there. McDaniel missed it, and Paxson didn't get his body on him. And when he didn't, Starks was able to get all the way to the basket.
With 5 minutes to go in the half, the Bulls have scored only 31 points. Stolen by Starks. He has Anthony. Almost finished in a Michael Jordan-like fashion after taking the foul from John Paxson.
Now, you want to talk about why it's important for Starks and Anthony to play well. You see the speed and quickness and the electricity they bring to this New York defense. You see the great steal, and look at the speed in the open floor. The only thing John Paxson can do is take the foul, and Starks almost made a tremendous shot.
Starks has been 9 out of 10 from the line in this series, shooting 90%, and Starks has 7. Anthony has 4, 11 points from the substitute guards. Jackson and Wilkins have only 1 basket each, the starters.
New York's got their best offensive team on the floor right now. Ewing, Mason, McDaniel, Anthony, and Starks. It's their best offensive team, and it's their best defensive team in the backcourt.
Matching their biggest lead. It's of 9.
Boy, Starks and Michael really arm wrestling in the low post. Starks making Michael work hard, now catches it all the way at the three-point line.
And the foul on Starks before Jordan drives. Team foul situation, by the way. Bulls are over the limit. No, check that. The team fouls. Yes, Bulls are over the limit, and 3 on the Knicks now.
But Michael Jordan had to work so hard for that possession. When he got it, he drove in the lane and got the foul. Now they get the ball sideline out of bounds. So Michael worked very hard, used up a lot of energy, no free throws. You see the pressure they're putting on him outside?
Pippen's posted. Jordan against Starks on the turnaround baseline. In and out of there. Rebound, Cartwright. He missed it. Good hustle. Jordan saves.
Great hustle by Bill Cartwright. And another opportunity, multiple shot opportunity.
Ewing came out on Pippen. Now he's back down to the low post.
Boy, Ewing does a great job flashing on that screen roll, keeping the Chicago speed and quickness out of the middle of the lane. Look at him show up big. I think they're going to get him for a foul.
He got both hands on Pippen on the drive. Let's see who they call it on.
They're going to call it on Greg Anthony. That's a break for New York, because that would have been Ewing's second foul. Look at the play in the post here. Anthony working against Michael Jordan.
Pippen 1 of 6 from the field, shooting 74% from the line in this series. And continues to struggle. It's an 8-point Knicks lead with 3:57 to go in the half.
Scottie Pippen is such a vital part of their offense. He averaged 21 points in the game in the season, shot over 51%, as you see. He's 1 for 6. But more importantly, his assists, his rebounds, everything picks up when they get in the open court. Then what happens is their role players, their level of play picks up when Pippen's running and Grant's running, and they get some easy baskets.
Foul in the backcourt from the Bulls as they extend their defense 94 feet. They're over the limit. That'll be free throws. 7-point Knicks lead, 3:56 to go in the first half. The Bulls lead the series 3-2. The Knicks hoping to extend it to Game 7 on the weekend. Everybody thought the Bulls would sweep the Knicks. The Bulls were 4-0 against New York in the regular season. All the Chicago papers were talking about, can Chicago not only repeat as world champions, but can they sweep through the entire playoffs? Then the Knicks put an end to all that speculation by winning Game 1.
Well, I remember the talk in Chicago when New York beat Detroit. There was a big sigh of relief in Chicago, like, thank God we don't have to play the Pistons and all that physical contact. Well, I wonder if they'd had it to do over again, if they'd like to see Detroit right now rather than this New York team.
Knicks by 9. 10 to shoot. Got the switch. Ewing left Pippen. He kicks it to Cartwright. Now Jordan in the paint. And rolled out of there. Big rebound by Grant. Jordan is fouled. Looked like McDaniel.
That'll be 5 team fouls in the penalty now, so both teams shooting free throws. You can see, though, when Michael Jordan drives, when Scottie Pippen drives to the basket, you see 2-3 big men funnel over, get big, and force him to look to pass the ball off. They make him try to kick the ball back out. So making them work very, very hard for every opportunity.
Saying the foul was on Mason. Jordan at the line, and Mark Jackson is back in for Greg Anthony. Anthony came in and played very well here tonight, as did Anthony Mason. They now have the starting team on the floor. Good bench production. 10 points from Starks. He scored 8 New York points in a row. Anthony had 4, so 14 points from those 2 guards off the bench.
See right there, Charles Oakley just couldn't move to get the ball. He put his body on Grant, and when the ball bounced in another direction, he just couldn't react quickly enough to get it. That's the difference in the speed and quickness of the Chicago front line and the muscle and the bulk of New York.
Knicks lead it by 8. Chicago timeout.
Natural. The only beer with the genuine taste of the king of beers. Budweiser.
Recess! Teacher outside, children outside.
Willis Carrier air-conditioned the first schoolhouse in 1926.
Simon says, come out, come out.
Ever since Carrier invented air conditioning,
Just come out, just for a minute.
we've been making it better inside.
If you don't come out, you are going to stay after school, huh?
From the first schoolhouse to your house, Carrier makes it better inside. We're the inside guys. Call us.
Recess is a state law.
It affects 1 out of every 9 women in America. It happens to mothers, to daughters, to sisters, to wives.
And it could happen to you.
Don't take a chance. When detected early, more than 90% of breast cancers are treatable.
Talk to your doctor today about whether or not you should have a mammogram.
For more information, call 1-800-4-CANCER.
It's the Big Apple. It's New York. It's celebrities. John McEnroe, Tatum O'Neal, Doug Collins. They're all here tonight. Coming up at halftime, speaking of celebrities, in our studio with Ernie Johnson Jr., Isaiah Thomas tries to top the performance of Charles Barkley on Tuesday night, and Chris Ford reacting to the Boston loss to the Cavs last night.
See Earl the Pearl Monroe, one of the great New York Knicks. He used to give me nightmares trying to chase him, all that spinning he used to do.
And one of my colleagues, Ed Brett.
So you always get the news guys. See the way you are, and always find the sports guys.
McDaniel on the outlet. Tough play.
Oh, Xavier McDaniel's down.
Hard. He hit the stanchion underneath the basket. It's 5-on-4.
They're going to have to take a foul. They took a foul on Mark Jackson. That's a good foul. You foul Pippen instead of allowing Michael Jordan to go to the line, and it looked like Xavier McDaniel might have a cut underneath his eye.
He looks like a boxer who just took a major punch.
Oh, he got his contact. He knocked his contact out. That's what happened.
Ow. Ooh. Ow. It's hard to watch.
Nice pass ahead from Starks to Xavier McDaniel. John packs it back. McDaniel too big. Here comes Michael Jordan. Slaps him in the face. No foul. The New York fans react to the replay, and here it is. Boom, right there. So tough play. Xavier McDaniel with great concentration to be able to finish that shot. Chicago very fortunate to hear that Michael Jordan is not called for the personal foul. There, right there in the head is the foul.
And that would be, I think, 3 foul shots if you knock the contact out. It's a 20-second timeout, and it's a 10-point Knicks lead. That's their biggest of the game with 3:08 remaining in the first half. McDaniel is okay.
I think if you're Pat Riley, you look up and you say we have a 10-point lead, obviously, which is important. But more importantly, Xavier McDaniel, 5 for 8, has 10 points. Starks off the bench, 10 points. Anthony, 4 points, 4 assists, 2 steals. You're getting contributions from a lot of people. We know Patrick Ewing had a nice first half scoring.
Pippen with the free throw. We're at Madison Square Garden for Game 6 in the Eastern Conference semifinals. The Bulls lead 3 games to 2, but the Knicks are now up 9. Pippen hoping to cut it to 8. And the Knicks, he doesn't do it, missed the free throw. Rebound to arm to Cartwright. Good play by Pippen.
Scottie Pippen got in the air. He jumped in the air, made contact with Ewing. They're not calling any flopping fouls, so I think the defense should hold their ground and not fall. That foul will not be called.
Knicks with 10 to shoot as they get into their offense.
Starks wheels it.
Starks with a big 3.
This guy is a very streaky player. Pat Riley calls his backcourt of Greg Anthony and Starks feast or famine. Tonight he's getting some feast.
Chicago turnover. Starks 11 of New York's last 13 points. 10-point Knicks lead. 2:30 to go in the half.
Ewing in the post, wants it against Cartwright. Great position.
Cartwright got there late. Ewing drops it. It's 16 points for the Knick fella. This is one of the biggest leads the Knicks have had in this entire series. Jordan with the pull-up. How do you defend that? 10-point Knicks lead.
You don't. What you want to do is keep him shooting jump shots, not let him get inside, keep your big people out of foul trouble. When I talked to Pat Riley, he said one of the big differences in Game 5 was Chicago's people beat his guards so quickly off the dribble, it exposed his big people too quickly.
Ewing hits Jackson. Here's Starks.
He feels it.
That's a 2. Starks has 15. Streak is the right word, Coach Collins. The Bulls have been held to 39 points. Minute and a half to go in the half.
That's a charge. Oh!
Oakley called for the block, and he is livid. He gets the technical.
Well, this could be a 4-point play.
Oh, he was there. Nevertheless, the call went against Oakley.
This could be big. We have to remember this play. This could be a 4-point swing. Here's the play. Pippen drives. Oh, I thought Oakley was there. The blocking foul. Oakley with the technical. Paxson will shoot the technical. And then Pippen will shoot the free throw.
Paxson misses. You know, I don't remember him missing a free throw in this series till now.
You're correct. He was 11 for 11, and he was 7 for 7 in Game 5.
What a memory.
You know, the interesting thing about that is if you think about it, every flagrant foul or situation like this that's occurred in this series, Chicago has not been able to take advantage of. I know of 3 situations where there's been flagrant fouls where Chicago has gone to the line, missed both free throws, and then not scored on the possession.
Pippen 4 out of 6 from the line tonight. He doesn't get that one either. Cartwright missed the follow, then got it himself. He gets 2 offensive rebounds.
That's 5 points that Chicago has gotten off missed free throws tonight where New York has not cleared the free throw. The miss off the free throw.
Knicks by 8. Chicago good at closing gaps late in the half. Let's see what they do here.
They're trying to pick up the level of their defense right now, exerting pressure on the basketball. BJ in the game.
Starks, ill-advised shot there. Knicks by 8, under a minute to go. Jordan all alone with Starks in the paint.
Very important time right now. 6-point lead. They must take advantage of this situation. New York, they've got to get a score and get a stop. Otherwise, Chicago on a run goes into the locker room on a high. They need a score on this possession.
10 to shoot. Starks. Got it this time. He's still feeling it. Now Starks has 17.
Now, Bob, they need a stop. They need a stop right here and a score. It puts it back up to 10. Otherwise, it could be a 6-point game.
Jordan from 19. Not this time.
They get the last shot of the half here. It should be either 8 or 10. Need to work the clock. Either get maybe an inside-out play. Ewing with a post-up. Maybe Starks with a 3.
Crowd on their feet at the Garden. See the time remaining in the half. McDaniel missing with 2 seconds. Chicago will have a chance. But Pippen misses. The Knicks lead it by 8 at the half. John Starks got 17 this period. Ewing finishes the half with 16. Michael Jordan with 13. We'll be back to basketball in just a moment. After this, we'll join Ernie Johnson Jr. in Atlanta.
The 1992 NBA playoffs are brought to you by Subaru. It's what to drive. And by Coca-Cola Classic. You can't beat the real thing. The Prudential Halftime Report is brought to you by The Prudential. In a changing world, one thing remains rock solid. The Prudential.
They have played 24 minutes at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks with a 53-45 lead over the Chicago Bulls in Game 6 of their Eastern Conference semifinal. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. This is the Prudential Halftime Report, and it's my pleasure tonight to welcome Isaiah Thomas of the Detroit Pistons to Atlanta for our doubleheader tonight. Zeke, it's good to see you, man. And
high class.
We've been watching this series, and it's amazing to some people, I guess me included, that they're in Game 6, possibly a Game 7. Tell me that you knew this was going to happen.
Well, I couldn't say that I knew this was going to happen, but in watching the basketball games played, the Knicks are playing better basketball than Chicago is. And you probably ask, why do I say that?
Why do you say that?
Well, if you look at the field goals scored, in terms of the total amount of field goals scored in each game, the Knicks have outscored the Bulls each game from the field. They've been having problems at the free throw line. They've been having problems in turnovers. They haven't been having problems in terms of scoring baskets. Chicago has had problems scoring baskets. So if the Knicks can solve their problems in terms of the little things, they would have won this series already.
So you really think this could be over if they had taken care of themselves, taken care of the ball, and done the little things in this
series? If they'd done the little things in this series, they'd have won this series already. Because every game, if you can get a stat on it, they've outscored Chicago from the field in every game.
And that's, in part, the name of the game. It's an 8-point lead for the Knicks. They're at the half at Madison Square Garden. Let's talk about the Detroit Pistons. You guys have been in the news somewhat. Chuck Daly announcing that he's done, he's leaving. It's Coke, folks. And, I mean, when did you know? I know the announcement was made official last week, but when did you know Chuck Daly was in his last year?
Probably at the start of the season. I think we
really,
all suspected that this would probably be Chuck's last year. He wanted to move on. He wanted to do some other things in his life other than coaching basketball. I think he's interested in becoming a general manager, owning a piece of a team, and I think that's where he's looking at. I think that's where his future is probably at.
Was that a distraction for you guys with that in the back of your minds that, hey, this is it for the Daly era?
No, it wasn't a distraction at all. You know, we have a lot of professional basketball players on our team, and I mean that to the truest sense. We have professionals on our team come to work every day and do their job regardless of the circumstances. And all guys were professional. We came to work every day, and we worked hard for Chuck, and we wanted Chuck to do well, but it just didn't work out that way.
Bill Laimbeer had some pretty strong things to say about GM Jack McCloskey late in the season. Were those things warranted?
Well, you know, we're a Piston family. You know, the Pistons are a family. You know, we're a very proud team. We're a very proud organization. It's unfortunate that a lot of our dirty laundry had to be aired in public. It was an in-house fight between Bill and Jack, and sometimes those things happen when you have a family. But we're all together. We're on the same page, and regardless of their disagreements or their dislikes with each other, you know, we're a Piston organization, and we're proud to be Detroit Pistons, and we're going to move on from here.
We have much more to talk about as the night goes on with Isaiah Thomas, our guest here in the studio. Coming up next, he hits the telestrator, and the guy can work the machine. I guarantee you. That comes your way next as a Prudential halftime report continues. 24 down, 24 to go at the Garden, 53-45. The Knicks with the lead over the Chicago Bulls in Game 6 of their Eastern Conference semifinal. The Prudential halftime report continues. Michael Jordan, of course, the centerpiece of the offense for the Chicago Bulls. New York trying to do a job on him because he really wore him out in the fourth quarter. The telestrator just sitting barking at us back here. It wants you to work on it, Isaiah. Give it a look.
What the Knicks like to do is they like to trap the pick and roll. We will have Scottie Pippen is going to play pick and roll with Bill Cartwright here. Ewing and Xavier McDaniel will trap the pick and roll. Ewing will take him out above the three-point line. As he get out above the three-point line, Ewing will release. As you see, Scottie Pippen gets it here. McDaniel will bring him to the screen. They'll trap the pick and roll. Ewing will release. Can we freeze it right there? As you see Ewing rotating down, he'll cover the basket here. Pippen will drive to his right. He'll dish it to Cartwright. Jordan to come on the low post. Now, the problems that Chicago has been having is scoring inside the paint. They can't score inside the paint because Ewing is clogging things up. So Pippen comes, he passes to Cartwright. Cartwright frees it to Jordan. Can we stop it there? As you see, you still have Ewing standing here. The Beast Master is what we call him.
You've been there before, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Up at him.
He will intimidate everything in here. Jordan gets it in the post. He has to take a fadeaway shot because of Ewing's presence. As Jordan goes up to shoot, Horace Grant gets the rebound, fights for it, punches it back out. Can you stop it there? Jordan would drive again left, but unfortunately, he's running right into the Beast
Master,
Patrick Ewing. As Jordan drives, Patrick Ewing is still there, and that's consequently a turnover.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can rename this thing the Zika strainer. Superb job there by Isaiah Thomas. Now, folks, we've still got tomorrow night. You got not Chicago. You got Boston and Cleveland. It's Game 6. The Cavaliers got that 3-2 lead. Now, much has been made about Larry Bird returning, and they're 0-2 with him, with 4 points in the first game when he came back, and then 13 last night. Some say maybe it's a liability. What's Chris Ford think?
No, I don't buy that at all. I think that if you are a team, you want to have your best players available and ready to make contributions. And Larry's one of our best players. And he can go out there, he can pass the ball, he can shoot, he can rebound. He'll find a way to help the team. And if anyone thinks that adding a player of his caliber is disruption, I'd like to have a few more of them.
You take a look here at the series summary, the field goal percentage, the Cavs 53-49 over Boston. The free throw attempts, Cavs getting to the line a lot more, and you see with Larry Bird, they're 0-2 with him, or without him, they were 5-1. How do you view the situation with Larry Bird? You kind of feel for Chris Ford as to how you work a legend in there, Isaiah?
No, actually, Chris Ford is in a very enviable position. I mean, anytime you can bring a guy of Larry Bird's caliber back into your offense and back into your defense, the smartness that he brings to the game, the way he's able to shoot the basketball, you know, with Bird or without Bird, they probably would have lost the last 2 games. Cleveland just played better basketball than they did. But that happens during playoff basketball. Sometimes you get beat. I think it's unfair for people to hold up these graphics with Bird and without Bird. You should put the whole thing up and say, with Bird, you got like 2-3 championships. You got all the, you know, you just can't say, okay, these last 10 games with Bird and without Bird. Why don't you take everything and put it on the screen?
You know what? The guys in the control room are busily erasing everything we prepared before the game. We still have Game 2 to play here tonight. Isaiah, it's great having you here, buddy. Phoenix and Portland, Game 2 of our doubleheader tonight. It's Game 5 of that series. And inside the NBA later tonight, Fred Hickman and Doc Rivers, you won't want to miss it. And we'll be back as the night goes on.
This summer, for the first time, together, Michael, Magic, Patrick, Charles, Larry. They call them the Dream Team. Think they've got a chance? See them live beginning July 1st on TNT.
The Prudential Halftime Report has been brought to you by The Prudential. In a changing world, one thing remains rock solid. The Prudential.
Knicks have held Chicago to 45 points. It's 53-45. And who would have figured that in the second quarter, bench player, reserve guard John Starks would have come in for New York and hit 17 points in the quarter. The play of Starks is the primary reason that the New York Knicks have this lead of 8 points.
Well, I think something also very interesting. Michael Jordan had 13 points, but if you look at his other numbers, only 1 assist, 1 rebound, no steals, 4 turnovers. So what they're doing is they're forcing Michael to try to score, and they're trying to prevent him from getting the other guys involved in the game. Scottie Pippen only 2 for 9 from the floor in the first half, but let's watch an interesting play here now, okay? Patrick Ewing has the ball on the wing. Chicago does not want to double team him until he puts it on the floor. So watch what happens. Paxson goes a little bit too quickly before Ewing puts it on the floor. Let's watch what happens. All right, if we stop it right there now, this gives Ewing an opportunity to easily see him off of the double team. Now, Michael Jordan now, who's right here, has to try to play 2 people. So what happens? Michael sort of fakes, boom, right there, and Jackson says, I know who's shooting the ball real well. It's my guy, John Starks. I'm going to swing it to him. And this is what happens when you shoot the ball well. He had 17 points and gave them a tremendous lift off the bench.
The guards have played so well for New York. 13 assists from Jackson. Anthony had 4 assists. The Knicks, 21 assists on their 23 field goals. They've only turned it over 3 times.
Well, I think if you want to look at 2 things, we talked about 2 constants. A team that has won the first quarter has won every game. New York won the first quarter. The bench scoring 21-8. When New York's bench wins, they win. We'll have to see if that changes in the second half.
The lob attempt to Pippen goes awry, and Oakley runs it down.
A set play to try to get Scottie Pippen an easy basket. Bad pass by Horace Grant. That's 9 turnovers now for Chicago. Again, only 3 for New York.
Jackson with the drive. The ball knocked loose by Paxson. Here comes Pippen. Maybe this will be a way to get him started. Pippen and Grant, by the way, are only 4 for 15 in this game.
We see how quickly New York gets back, takes away any easy scoring opportunity on a fast break. Pippen, 1 breakaway layup.
Michael Jordan with a beautiful pass into Grant. Looked like McDaniel may have got him. I don't think that's on Ewing.
Let's see who gets it. This could be very important.
Yes, it's on McDaniel. Could have been on any of 3 players surrounding Grant at that point. Nice pass by Michael as he was denied the lane. He got airborne, but went airborne with a purpose and delivered the ball to Horace Grant down on the block.
Well, you see also, too, Patrick Ewing only 1 foul in this game, which is very, very important. We talked about, as I talked to Pat Riley before the game, he said, Patrick Ewing's got to give me 45 minutes tonight. Well, he's got 22 minutes in the first half with only 1 foul.
Grant knocks them both down. He was only shooting 52% coming into that trip at the line, and it's a 6-point Knicks lead.
As well as New York's played, they're only up 6. You know Chicago's going to come at them defensively. I think it's very important for them to start this quarter like they did the first. Get some good shot opportunities. Pat Ewing wants it in the post.
Nice give and go to Mark Jackson.
Excellent give and go, and Horace Grant a little slow in the rotation. He's got to be the guy to pick up the cutter when Paxson goes back to double team against Patrick Ewing.
Now Oakley with his hands full against Grant.
See, they've got the shot clock now down to 10, basically, really, and Chicago really struggling to get into their half-court offense.
Jordan into the paint. The dish goes off Wilkins. Chicago ball with 6 on the clock.
The double team. You see the double team Paxson, the give and go, and Horace Grant just a little late getting to Mark Jackson.
Jordan has 5 seconds. 3. Long jumper. Oh, my.
That's a tough shot. Michael Jordan, nobody in the league does it any better. Ewing shows up big, outstretched hands, and Michael still buries the jump shot.
Knicks by 6. Michael has 15. He's averaging 31 points a game in this series. Ewing gets bumped pretty hard. Xavier McDaniel fouls Horace Grant. McDaniel just picked up his 3rd foul.
And I want to talk a little bit, too, about when Patrick Ewing puts the ball on the floor, he gets himself in trouble. This is twice he's put it down, and twice 2 turnovers. So he's got to keep the ball off the floor. Chicago's going to run at him when he does that, and he's going to have a difficult time making the pass, trying to get McDaniel's 4th foul.
Cartwright with the pass from McDaniel. And it's a 4-point game, 55-51. 10 minutes to go in the quarter. Chicago back strong in this 3rd quarter.
You know Chicago's going to come at them. New York's going to have to show great poise and fight through this little run by Chicago.
Wilkins into the paint to Oakley from 18 feet. Jordan kept it alive and saved it beautifully to Grant.
Oh, boy, the speed and quickness of Michael to that loose ball.
Knicks are a little flat right now. First time we've even seen them flat in the series.
And I think you're going to see if they score here a 20-second timeout or a full timeout. Pat Riley does not like what he sees.
Paxson missing that perimeter jumper. McDaniel with a rebound. Oakley goes down. He's all right. McDaniel open for the jumper. Not this time. Grant.
No one under the rebound either. As McDaniel took the jump shot, no one back at all to give him an opportunity to get a second shot.
Pippen can drive on Oakley.
He needs to back way off of him and make him shoot the outside shot. Pippen wants to isolate.
They denied the middle again. 8 seconds to shoot. Michael for 3. Rebound Ewing. Loose ball foul on Chicago.
Well, you can see New York's strategy. Anytime Pippen, Michael Jordan start to get in the lane, the whole area collapses. As Isaiah pointed out in the studio, they're going to force outside perimeter shots. Horace Grant does not have the 3-point range. He didn't take it, swung it to Michael, who didn't get the shot.
Called him the Beastmaster. That's the new Isaiah Thomas name for him.
Well, Isaiah can get away with that.
Particularly when he's in the studio.
That's right.
Enjoyed having Isaiah Thomas, our halftime guest with Ernie Johnson Jr.
Let's not even get too comfortable on that telestrator in there, though. He was too good.
Those guys are talking about how easy your job is now. Barkley caught that. Pippen on the drive. Blocked by Ewing. Pippen controls the loose ball. Nice play by Scotty after the block. Rebound McDaniel. He has 5. Jackson looking for penetration, kicking to Wilkins from 18. And the Knicks all of a sudden are back up to an 8-point lead. Timeout Chicago.
Now, it's interesting. I thought New York was going to have to take the timeout. They weathered it. They got 2 good defensive stops, a block shot, 2 scores, and they forced Phil Jackson to call the timeout. Very important. The crowd now into the ball game again.
Mark Jackson with 15 assists in this game.
The 1992 NBA playoffs are brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. And by GMC Truck, the strength of experience.
Chicago feels they have an advantage in this matchup. Oakley, speed and quickness goes to Scottie Pippen. You're going to see the drive. But what happens? Here is Horace Grant. This is McDaniel playing him. This is Ewing who's playing against Cartwright. As he puts it on the floor, watch what happens. He drives it, boom, we stop it right there, and the only pass is to Horace Grant. Excellent defensive position that time by New York.
Knicks by 8 following the Chicago timeout. 7:55 to go, third quarter. Game 6, Eastern Conference Finals. Chicago up 3-2. 7 on the shot clock.
Trying to get the fourth foul on McDaniel against Scottie Pippen. That better go against Ewing.
It is on Patrick Ewing, and that is his second.
You see Chicago call the timeout. They realize the importance of Xavier McDaniel in the game. So they go right to Scottie Pippen in the post. Ewing comes over to give help, and he gets the foul. So this next 7.5 minutes, Bob, I think will be very important for New York that McDaniel is able to stay on the floor.
Oh, that wouldn't disturb me if I was, say, shooting a free throw in a pro basketball playoff game.
Yeah, and especially if you're Scottie, who shot 4 for 7 in the first half, who probably doesn't feel real great about being up there right now anyway. So
Scottie was only 2 of 10 from the field. 9 rebounds, however.
That'll
and
test
he drains that one.
concentration. Scottie did a nice job of blocking all that out, stepping up there and making the free throw.
Here at GMC scoreboard, the West semifinal game 5, Seattle in front of Utah. That's in the first quarter. Jazz leading that series 2-1. Coming up next tonight, Phoenix at Portland.
Excellent concentration that time by Scottie Pippen. To step up there struggling, 2 for 10 from the field. He steps up there and makes 2 major free throws.
Knicks by 6.
Trap action here by Chicago coming out of the timeout.
Daniel with a good save, and then he gets trapped immediately. Finds the opening. Ewing missed the jam.
See, Oakley just has a difficult time finishing around the basket. He does not have the lift.
Pippen off the glass. He can't get it. I said Ewing. Of course, it was Oakley missing the jam. 59-53, New York.
You know, Charles works so hard, and you'd like to see him rewarded for that kind of effort, and he just struggles so badly to finish in there around the leapers.
There's that give and go again. Beautiful interior pass for Mark Jackson. The block and the Bulls run. Paxson to Jordan. Then Ewing steps up. Grant misses it. He's fouled by Wilkins.
Good foul, though, by Gerald Wilkins. They did not give up the layup. Horace Grant's got to go to the line now. We've talked about the free throw shooting of Chicago, and in this series Horace Grant is 13 for 25 for 52%. John Paxson, who's an excellent free throw shooter, Wilkins chases him off the shot. They do a nice job getting back to Michael Jordan. You see Patrick Ewing forcing the extra pass to Horace Grant, and there's the foul. So we're going to test Horace Grant. We just saw Scottie Pippen step up there in the face of the adversity here in New York, and now Horace Grant gets the opportunity.
Chicago's 11 of 17 from the free throw line, shooting 65% in this game. That's right at what they've been shooting in the entire series at 68%. And New York is 6 for only 8 at the line. So Horace Grant, who knocked both of the free throws down last time, steps up there again. And by the way, the Knicks have committed 14 fouls. Their next foul will put them in the penalty. Chicago with only 1.
Very good point there that you talk about the penalty situation. So now Chicago should do everything they possibly can to continue to get to the free throw line. It stops the game, shoots free throws, and allows them to set up their press.
4-point game.
So Horace has to go out of the game. His arm is bleeding, so he must come out of the ball game.
And Scott Williams will check in.
This is 4 different players that Chicago in New York has had to go out because of bleeding. Michael Jordan with his nose, Scottie Pippen with his chin, John Paxson with an arm, and now Horace Grant.
Jackson, Oakley, McDaniel, Wilkins, and Ewing on the floor for the Knicks. They're starters. The only change in the Chicago lineup, Scott Williams in for Horace Grant, who's okay. They're just stopping the bleeding and taking him up.
Trapping defense again, trying to get New York out of their offense.
New York spreading the floor, making it tougher to trap.
Want to get the ball to Patrick Ewing.
Unable to do it again because of Cartwright.
Tough shot.
Jackson missing it. Jordan with the rebound. It's a 4-point Knicks lead. Paxson open from Jordan. Paxson struggling tonight. 2-on-1. Wilkins, Ewing, off Jordan with a beautiful play, but it'll belong to New York.
Michael's got away with a couple tonight. He got away with one against McDaniel in the first half. I thought that time he got Patrick Ewing on his wrist. Let's watch it here. Let's see if he gets him on his wrist. Patrick Ewing thought so. He looked at Joey Crawford and said, so let's see it.
Sure.
Looks to me like he got him on his wrist pretty well there.
Ewing. Into the paint. Put it on the floor. No problem that time. Kicked it to Wilkins. The long miss. Big rebound by McDaniel. Wilkins will try it again. The rainbow doesn't go. Another big rebound by McDaniel. He'll put it up and in. Xavier McDaniel.
Well, not only was that two big rebounds, but it ignited this crowd once again. You feel Chicago making a little run, Bob. They needed that offensive possession that time. Two missed shots, and Xavier McDaniel, an excellent play.
12.7 rebounds for the X-Man. 8 to shoot.
See, Wilkins gives Michael a little more problems. Not as easy to shoot over. That time Cartwright again. When they get Oakley on Cartwright, Bill Cartwright goes up very confident with this shot, knowing that Charles Oakley cannot block it.
Knicks by 4. 5:28 remaining in the third quarter. 8 to shoot. Looking for Ewing back into McDaniel. Fadeaway jumper doesn't fall.
Again, though, another offensive rebound. That's 3 offensive rebounds now for New York. When they have won the battle of the boards, they've been very difficult to beat. 52 to 33, they out-rebounded Chicago here in Game 4.
Oakley kept it alive that time. Behind the back, Ewing. Not this time.
New York has gone cold on their outside shooting. Chicago is up the level of their defense. Interesting to see how quickly it'll be for Starks to come back in the game. Looks like he's getting ready to check in right now.
10 to shoot for Chicago.
Well, look where he chases you out on that screen drill. It makes him go way out to the half court.
Now 4. Cartwright has to kick it into Pippen. At the buzzer. Count it. It's a 2-point game.
Really a danger time here for New York. They're a little bit scrambled offensively. Need a good possession.
And that is anything but. Nice play by Jackson. The kick ball, and it's going to belong to New York.
You feel the tempo of this game changing, and Chicago did it by using a little bit of a trapping defense. They've come out since New York went up 8 at 59-51. And they've trapped them, and they've forced them out of their offense, and New York does not do a good job when you force them to come out on the floor and try to get their own shots individually.
Knicks by 2. 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Oakley posted down low.
Patrick Ewing wants the ball on the post against Cartwright. He wants to go right up with it.
And does. He missed the shot. Oakley missed the rebound. Ewing is down. Is he hurt? He's slow getting up. Ewing is limping. Ewing heading off the floor, limping noticeably. Timeout for New York with 3:54 to go in the third quarter. Let's see if we can spot what happened to Patrick.
Let's see if he lands on Cartwright's foot. Right there, you see him roll over his left ankle. That's exactly what Pippen did in New York here in Game 1.
That's the first tie since it was tied at 12 all. At 61 with 3:54 to go in the third. Here's how Ewing got hurt.
Well, Chicago on a 12-2 run, and as Ewing goes up, you see him right there. If we hold it right there, as he goes up, Cartwright's left leg comes out, and when he does, Ewing comes down and rolls over his left ankle. Ewing goes down, you see him really roll over his ankle, and then Chicago runs out, and Scottie Pippen gets one of the few layups he's been able to get. We'll have to watch now what happens as Patrick Ewing has sat down. Mike Saunders working on his ankle, retaping it.
Anthony Mason in the game, along with Oakley, Starks, Greg Anthony, and Xavier McDaniel. New York goes to the small lineup in the first half. This lineup exploded. Mason, big bucket, using his strength inside.
Well, Mason just backed him right to the basket. He's stronger than Horace Grant. Horace went up to defend the shot. Mason with a nice little jump hook. Now, this is the lineup in Game 4 that played very well in Ewing's absence. Let's see if they can continue to do so.
Pippen playing much better in this game than in Game 5. Jordan over the outstretched hands of Mason. Rebound Jackson to Starks, who had 17 in the second quarter.
The one concern you have right now if you're New York, obviously, is your interior defense goes way down without Ewing. Will Chicago be able to get to the basket? Still got plenty of time.
6 on the shot clock. Mason kicks it to Starks. Right in the face of B.J. Armstrong. Over the top, it'll be Chicago ball. Here's the news as we have it at this moment on Patrick Ewing. He's putting his shoe back on now. It is a recurring injury to his left ankle. They retaped it. The Knicks do not think it is serious. Ewing strapping that shoe back on, and they'll hope he can return. Ewing is 8 of 10 in the first half, only 0 for 3 in this quarter, and so far in the game has 16 points. He's been playing with 2 fouls.
Now, New York is a penalty foul, so Chicago shooting the rest of this quarter.
Armstrong open from Michael Jordan. Tied again at 63.
Without Ewing in the game, the double team now has to come from a different area. It now comes from the perimeter, so look for the perimeter people to get the shots. Ewing not in there to help out.
2:17 to go in the quarter. I'm sure Riley would like to be able to leave that foul on B.J. Armstrong. I'm sure Riley would like to be able to leave Patrick Ewing out until the fourth quarter starts.
That's only Chicago's second foul. So they really have 2 more fouls to waste here in the last 2 minutes before they are in the penalty also.
Ewing's going to come back in. They've got the crowd on their feet. Right now, Knicks looking for a hoop, tied at 63.
This is Wichita State reunited. They're Oakley again with a miss, but you've got Livingston against Xavier McDaniel. They're old buddies from Wichita State. You throw Antoine Carl in that front line, not a bad college team.
No kidding. McDaniel will go to the line. That foul against Grant, his second personal foul. Tied at 63. 2:01 remaining. And the Bulls have 1 foul to give in the 2-minute period.
New York has only scored 12 points in this quarter after a big 53, excuse me, I guess only 10, 53 in the first half, only 10 in 10 minutes.
And Patrick Ewing standing at the scorer's table. Oakley has 3 points, 5 rebounds, only 1 of 6 from the floor. Patrick trying to walk off that ankle. It is his left ankle, a recurring injury, retaped, and will come back to action.
The importance for Chicago to try to win this game, Bob, is the more games you play against a team like this, the more you get banged up. They need to win this game tonight to try to get a little rest going into the next round. So major finish here in the last 13 minutes for Chicago.
Scott Williams. Michael Jordan over Starks. Not this time. Oakley kept it alive for Mason to Starks.
Mason wants it against Horace Grant in the post. Now McDaniel against Livingston.
Now they've isolated. Fadeaway jumper won't go. Rebound. Oakley to McDaniel. He's fouled. Looked like Scott Williams got him.
Boy, McDaniel and Livingston, look at Oakley. They're doing some chattering out there on the floor now.
They gave the foul to Livingston. Ewing is back in the game. The crowd back into the game.
Let's watch the little by-play after this. The shot goes up, and you're going to see Oakley. Look at him come over and talk to Scott Williams. Just a little friendly chatter there.
It's like the waiter taking my order for coffee this morning. What do you have?
And then they found out you were the real Bob Neal, and they were all over you. I mean, free food, everything.
Everything. Just what I needed. Seattle out in front of Utah at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, and the Jazz leading the series 2-1. Seattle trying to come from behind. George Karl said he had a good feeling about his team going into tonight's game. Our second game coming up right after this one. Phoenix at Portland. Portland hoping to close out. McDaniel missing. It's a 3-point Knicks lead.
Well, Patrick Ewing is back on the floor, but he is not moving very well at all. And this is going to be big because he's so important playing against the screen roll of Chicago, showing up big. His mobility very limited right now.
B.J. Armstrong misses. Ewing had trouble leaping that time, even though he got the rebound his 6th.
Well, you see him coming down the floor right now. That's going to hurt their defense. Isaiah talked about the way he shows up on that screen roll and push Pippen and Jordan out. We'll have to watch as that goes on in the fourth quarter now.
Greg Anthony to Starks. Big drive. Oh, mama. Starks' first points of this quarter after having 17 in the second. Knicks back by 5. Time remaining in the third quarter, down in the bottom right.
See Pippen getting all the way to the basket now. That's 2 layups Scottie Pippen has gotten because Ewing can't get over there.
Rebound Livingston stolen by Starks. Then back to Chicago. It's 3-on-2. Pippen, Jordan. And the foul, a 3-point opportunity. Scottie Pippen has definitely got his game back together. Not at the level we've seen him in the regular season, but definitely a higher level than we've seen from Pippen in this series so far.
Well, he started out by getting a couple dunks going to the basket and a layup, and you can see Ewing is so important in their transition defense. He can't get down the floor. So here's Pippen creating. Ewing can't get back. That leaves Anthony and Mason back. No shot blockers. So the last 2 possessions, Jordan and Pippen both getting to the basket to give them 5 points if he makes his free throw. So it's 5 points that they've gotten going to the basket. I thought Xavier McDaniel took an ill-advised shot the last time down the floor.
And now the Chicago full court pressure.
And you got a cameraman who's hooked up against Greg Anthony, who almost tripped Anthony. He's got a camera out on the floor.
Down over to the left of our screen down there. We're tied at 68. And Joe Forte is down there trying to clear the cables out. The media coverage of this game, you'd think it was Game 7 in the finals. There are more cameras, television stations, and wires and cable here than I've ever seen, even at Madison Square Garden. We have 21.1 on the clock as they reset it because of that unnatural stoppage of play, and it gives the Bulls a chance to set up that full court pressure again. Starks almost lost it. Good pass ahead to McDaniel.
Whoa, Greg Anthony's foot was on the line there. He got a little bit of break.
There's the pass stolen by Pippen.
That's a flagrant foul, too. That's going to be 2 shots in the ball.
Pippen
Starks hurt the ball. It's going to be a technical on Starks if he's not careful.
Pippen is down.
Boy, this could be a major, major swing. Scottie Pippen looks like he is hurt. And then Starks kicks the ball, so it's going to be 2 shots and the ball. Now we have to remember Scottie Pippen had major back surgery after his first year in the league.
He is very still on his face there.
Let's hope that Scottie Pippen is not seriously hurt here. Watch Starks. Boom, and look at him pull Scottie down. That's a serious play there. And then Starks kicks the ball. You see the pressure defense by Chicago again bothering the New York Knicks. Pippen picks it up, and now he's fearless going to the basket. The hard foul, and if you keep it rolling forward, Starks now picks the ball up and kicks it into the stands. Very fortunate he did not get a technical there.
1.9 seconds remaining in the quarter. It's tied at 68. Pippen is up and moving and appears to be okay. Technical foul. DJ Armstrong. They did call a technical on Starks, probably for the action of the ball, and Armstrong will shoot it.
Now this could be a 5-point swing. Instead of New York getting the last shot and going in tied. Again, how many times we talk about that the Chicago has not taken advantage of this, like the flagrant foul or the technical fouls. Paxson missed one, BJ misses one. Now Scottie Pippen will shoot the 2 shots for the flagrant, and they'll get the ball out. But Bob, instead of New York having a chance to go up 2 or being tied, they might be down 4.
Pippen definitely was sore back. Hodges checks into the lineup for Chicago. Pippen had raised the level of his play tonight, no question about it. Hits the free throw. That's 17 points for Scottie Pippen, and he has 10 rebounds to go with 5 assists. So he's playing the kind of game that Scottie Pippen expects to play for the Bulls. They have a 1-point lead. Make it 2 with 1.9 left in the third quarter. And New York led by 8 at the half.
And you talk about Scottie Pippen. This guy is a tough player, and you know, a lot of people in Chicago have gotten down saying he's gone away from contact in this series. I think you've seen him step up here and make some big plays for Chicago when they really needed it. Hodges now 3-point shooter in the game, 1.9 Might go inside to Michael for a quick shot and a kick out if he can't get it.
There it is to Michael for the quick shot. He doesn't get it. But the Bulls take their first lead of the game with less than 2 seconds to go in the third, leading it 70-68, and they are on a 7-0 run. That period, Chicago outscored New York 25-15.
I'm telling you, I love this game.
The Bulls on a 7-0 run have taken their first lead of the ball game by a score of 70-68, and perhaps even more important, Patrick Ewing with the ankle sprain out testing it right now. But Patrick Ewing's fourth quarter means everything to these New York Knicks.
Well, he had a big first quarter tonight, 12 points. He only has 4 points since then. But if we look what he's done in this series, in games 1, 2, and 3, averaged 12 minutes, 14 points, 4 rebounds. But in games 4 and 5, you see his numbers. We'll have to watch. I don't know how strong he will be to finish this game. Looks very gimpy right now.
Starks, Greg Anthony, Ewing, McDaniel, and Mason on the floor for New York. 10 to shoot. Chicago has turned up the defense, and they get the foul call on Bill Cartwright as he's holding Ewing.
See, the one thing that Patrick Ewing has over Cartwright is mobility. You take him and you give him a sprained ankle. Now he loses that, and now it becomes an arm wrestling contest. You see Patrick Ewing cannot push off that left ankle right now.
McDaniel open for the jumper. Squared around and made a very nice shot to tie it at 70. It is 15 points for the X-Man.
The thing I want to see, screen roll. When Ewing has to step out on screen roll, that's where you're really going to see it. See, he can't get over there quickly enough against Pippen. Pippen now feels comfortable getting in the lane. A nice kick out to Scott Williams, who missed the shot.
Ewing with the rebound, gimping down court. A little bit reminiscent of Willis Reed back in the early 70s, stepping up and playing for the Knicks in the championship despite his injuries.
Well, the only problem is there's no Walt Frazier here right now.
Ewing misses the jumper. He goes down on that shot. Stolen by Starks. Fouled in the backcourt by Cartwright. Big play for John Starks.
And not only that, but a great foul by Cartwright, because Anthony Mason was ahead of the field and had a dunk had Starks been able to find him. So nice play. The crossover dribble, Starks picks him clean. There's the foul. Mason on the breakaway. No shots will be taken because it was in the back court. Ewing in the last huddle told the trainer, I'll go as long as I can, so we'll have to continue to watch him.
Seattle and Utah tied in the second quarter at 49. This game tied at 70. Knicks hoping to keep it alive to force a Game 7. They are down 3 games to 2.
Clock winding down. Anthony's going to have to make something happen.
He's fouled with only 4 seconds on the shot clock. Off the penetration, Greg Anthony.
He turned the corner against Bill Cartwright. Cartwright couldn't get there soon enough. See, the difference between Cartwright and Ewing. See, Bill tries to show, but he does not have the quickness. Scott Williams slow getting over there.
And that's 4 on Bill Cartwright. Significant.
And also, too, that the team fouls. That's 3 team fouls on Chicago. We've always talked about the importance of being able to get a team in the penalty so you can get to the line in the fourth quarter. New York has no team fouls.
And Greg Anthony was only shooting 50% from the free throw line coming into this ball game, but he's been very successful from there tonight as he's knocked down, I believe it's 4 of 4.
He and Anthony and Starks tonight have played a very, very good game for New York. Defensively, they've done a good job offensively. You see Anthony with a foul, but they need them, Bob, to play well. This is the speed and quickness they need on the floor.
That's Anthony's 4th. Team fouls, that was the first one committed by the Knicks, as Doug told you. 3 on the Bulls, 10:25 to go in the game. This game has gone just like the series. Anybody's ball game with 10.5 to go.
Here's a screen roll. Let's see if Ewing can get out there. You see him show up big.
He gets back down.
But see, he can't get back there now.
He showed a lot of fortitude in attempting to get back and actually got there in time to turn the ball over with 15 to go. Pippen throws up a poor shot.
Knicks ball.
See, the one thing Patrick Ewing does, being on the floor, he is a threat, and Chicago has to guard him. So what that does, that makes the other players out there a little bit better than they are on their own.
The Knicks back to a 2-point lead with 10-11 remaining and Patrick Ewing injured. Dutch boy in the paint. Cartwright having a good game against Ewing tonight. Remember, Ewing with the injured ankle, but is playing on it anyway. Cartwright is playing with 4 fouls.
Well, Ewing got off to a great start, 12 in the first quarter, but let's watch screen roll. Now, this is Patrick Ewing, and a major part of the screen roll is for them to be able to jump out. Now watch Patrick as he tries to get back into the play. You see him limping. Pippen gets into the lane. We'll have to watch as that goes on to see what happens the rest of the fourth quarter.
Knicks by 2, 10 minutes remaining in their season unless they hold on to this lead. Bulls lead in the series 3 games to 2. Knicks hoping to extend to 7.
So Ewing trying to free himself up now with a screen.
Open for the jumper, and he hits it. A big bucket from Ewing, and that got the crowd on their feet, and the Knicks lead by 4.
Boy, Pat Riley is on his feet, and he is trying to encourage Patrick Ewing to play through this.
Jordan trying to post Starks, 10 to shoot.
See Ewing trying to come over now to get in a position to double team.
Jordan's fall-away jumper does not go down. Rebound Ewing.
And a loose ball foul on Scotty Williams. That'll be number 4 on Chicago. In a penalty the rest of the way.
Knicks by 4, 9:26 to go. A courageous performance by Patrick Ewing. It's evident that he's hurting a lot, but playing through it.
See Ewing in a position to try to give help. Starks forces Michael Jordan to shoot the fadeaway. Rebound position. Ewing gets his hand on it. There's the foul from Scott Williams.
Looking for Ewing again. Anthony with the penetration and the kick out to Mason. Now Ewing over Cartwright. Misses this one, Chicago ball.
Well, you can just see Patrick, it's so difficult. When something is wrong with your legs, ankle, foot, you don't get lift on your shot. And normally what happens, everything then falls short. You have to make an adjustment. It is so hard for an offensive player to play through a leg problem, Bob. That's where you really lose your timing.
Pippen isolated against McDaniel. He's playing with 3 personal fouls. 9 to shoot. 7. 5. Jordan over Starks. He misses. Rebound Mason.
Starks did a great job that timing of keeping Michael Jordan away from the basket. They're not allowing Michael to get in there. Everything has been a fadeaway shot here in the fourth quarter. Is that a sign of fatigue? We'll have to watch.
It's certainly a sign of Ewing being able to stay there in the paint.
Just his presence, Bob. You cannot say enough what it means for him to being out on the floor right now for his team.
Knicks with 4 seconds to shoot.
I think that Michael's a little tired. You see Hodges in the ball game right now. So you got a small backcourt in the game right now. You have B.J. Armstrong and Hodges going against Anthony and Starks. I think they should be able to pressure this backcourt a little bit more.
It's only the 7th turnover of the game for New York. Pippen to B.J. Armstrong. Look at the Knicks trapping defense. New York ball. Phil Jackson, you see Tex Winter sitting there. John Bach, the defensive specialist in Chicago, I'm sure watching his buddy Doug Collins tonight.
Yeah, we want to send him our best. Johnny's had a little bit of a problem with his heart, and hopefully he's going to be back strong.
10 to shoot for the Knicks. Starks, turnaround jumper. Starks had 17 in the second quarter. Chicago is scoreless this period so far. New York on an 8-0 run. Get this now, Chicago has been held scoreless in the period. 7:33 to go in the game.
Got to chase Hodges off the catch and shoot. Make him put it on the floor. Starks has got to be careful on penetration, not to leave Hodges for a 3.
4 seconds, it's stolen. Starks ahead to McDaniel. Armstrong with the hard foul. Oh, what a game. Shot clock was running down for the Bulls.
New York wants a flagrant foul. It is not a flagrant foul. because it was not an excessively hard foul. They went for the arms. Here's Scotty going to slip, okay? Now, on this play, the reason this is not a flagrant foul is because it's not an excessively hard foul. Watch Armstrong. He goes in and wraps up the arms right there and tries to grab him. That's a good foul. New York fans do not like it, Bob, but that is not a flagrant foul.
It is a two-shot foul as McDaniel goes to the line, and the Bulls are in the penalty. Only one team foul has been committed by the Knicks.
And the importance, again, of being able to get to the free throw line and be in the penalty in the fourth quarter. You see Michael Jordan resting. I'm sure Phil Jackson would like to get him a minute or so and then get him back out on the floor and hopefully be able to have Michael fresh so he can finish this game strong.
You see that in this quarter. The Knicks outscoring Chicago 9-0. Cartwright with a rebound after this free throw. 7-point New York lead. Into Cartwright against Ewing. Ewing got in his face. Rebound McDaniel. Ewing barely able to run down court.
Important now. New York has played good defense. They want to get a shot every time down the floor. No turnovers. Make sure you give yourself a chance. Use the clock and get a good shot.
10 to shoot for New York. Anthony in trouble. Starks holds it.
This has been their bailout guy all night long. Just bail him out all night.
And did it again. Starks has 23. The crowd on their feet. The Knicks have built a 9-point lead. Timeout, Chicago. The Knicks have outscored the Bulls 11-0 in the fourth quarter. The Bulls led it 70-68 starting the fourth quarter. 5:20 has elapsed in the fourth. New York has outscored Chicago 11-0. TNT, tonight's New York's turn, they say.
Well, let's talk about a couple things. First of all, the superior play of John Starks, but Patrick Ewing, he does not have the numbers in the fourth quarter, but his presence has made Chicago guard him, and in doing so, it's opened up opportunities for others. Now, let me talk about also, too, you see Chicago coming back with Michael Jordan, the foul situation. New York still only one team foul here, so they have 2 to waste before Chicago gets in the penalty. Excuse me, 3 to waste.
Purdue in for Chicago. 10 to shoot for the Bulls. Jordan trying to take it over himself into Purdue, out of bounds. Knicks ball.
Very reminiscent of Game 4 in here when Patrick went out with foul troubles. Sometimes you relax a little bit. I don't know whether Chicago mentally relaxed a little bit, but the Knicks have taken advantage of it.
Now Ewing posted against Purdue. The double team to Anthony. Back to Ewing in the paint.
Purdue can't handle him in there.
A 13-0 New York run as they battle for their life in the 1992 season. Paxson from Jordan quietens the crowd.
Chicago's gone to their open set now. They've gone away from their triangle offense. They're opening the floor. Michael's going one-on-one, trying to get in the lane, get the defense, pitch out the shooters. You have Hodgins and Paxson on the floor to shoot the basketball. Michael on penetration.
It took Chicago 6 minutes, 10 seconds to score their first points in this fourth quarter.
See, Ewing gets great position on Purdue. He feels like he can get the shot down there anytime.
There's the double team. Didn't get it this time. Rebound off Purdue to Jordan. Knicks by 9, 5:21 to go.
It's going to be penetration, Michael, spot up, Paxson and Hodges. They got to make sure they match to those people and not allow them to get the open shot. New York still has fouls to waste if they need them.
Ewing lurking in the lane. Jordan had to kick it to Paxson, who missed. Rebound goes to Mason.
Quick shot.
McDaniel hits it. They're on their feet at the Garden. McDaniel has 18.
The next 2 minutes are so important right now for New York. They've got to keep Chicago out of any kind of run.
Purdue battling for the rebound, keeping it alive, but Stark steals it, and the foul, loose ball on Will Purdue. Chicago 1 for 9 this period with 4 turnovers.
But I want to tell you something. This is an unbelievable effort by New York right now. It looked like it was slipping away from them. Ewing gets hurt. Chicago's on a run. They finished the quarter strong. I didn't think Ewing was going to be able to play, and they have divided it up, and they have got 4 minutes and 37 seconds to play of tough, hard-nosed basketball to try to force a Game 7.
As Ewing went over to the bench just then to get water, the entire New York bench was on their feet, standing over and slapping the hands of Ewing, while the Chicago bench sits silently.
Remember now, they still have 3 fouls to give. So if Michael starts to penetrate, they can take a foul against him and not allow him to get to the free throw line.
Knicks' biggest lead of the game on a 17-2 run this quarter. 10 to shoot for the Bulls. Jordan looking for penetration, not finding it. Hodges, yes, that's a three.
Can't leave him. He is a buster from out there. He had 2 of those in Game 5. You can't leave him. He can stick 2 or 3 of those in a hurry.
Cuts that 13 down to 10 real quickly. 4 minutes to go in the game. Anthony kicks it to Ewing, wide open. Mason kept it alive. Paxson comes away with it. Bulls can cut it to 8. A lot of time left. 3:57.
Be interesting to see if Chicago scores here, if Riley goes for a timeout. Another quick 3 by Michael.
Purdue with a big rebound. Hodges drains another 3. Hello. The Knicks 85-78, timeout New York with 3 minutes and 42 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
Craig Hodges' three-point shooting. He brings a specialist to the game that other teams just don't have.
Knicks had led by 13, now by 7 because of 2 Hodges threes.
Well, you're going to see what happens. Michael missed the shot. Ewing can't get the rebound. Purdue keeps it alive. Now watch this. Right here, hold it. Hodges always knows where that three-point line is, and he's a rhythm shooter, a lot like he does in the three-point competition. 2 in a row, so his three-point shooting cuts his lead in half with 2 possessions. Chicago showing half-court trap out of this timeout to disrupt the play that Pat Riley set up.
Greg Anthony on the dribble. In trouble to Ewing and back to Anthony. 9 to shoot. There's the trap again. Ewing is going all the way with it to the hoop, and it bounces home. A big one.
That was big. I didn't know if Patrick Ewing was going to be able to get all the way to the basket or not. That was a finger roll. Normally he would slam dunk that one.
Neither did Patrick, playing with the injured left ankle. It's a 9-point Knicks lead. 3:08 to go. Purdue fouled hard by Anthony Mason.
Let's see if they give him 2 in the ball. Oh, they're going to call it a flagrant foul.
Hold it. They're about to break something out down there.
Now, this is very important right now. The New York has got to get away from this right now. They have the lead. It's a 9-point game. They've got to be very smart in this situation, Bob. I think they've called a flagrant foul, which is going to be 2 free throws and the ball.
The Knicks lobbying with Jess Kersey here. And guess who's practicing threes while they wait?
Yeah,
Hodges is out practicing threes while they argue.
It reminds me of when I played, we had a brawl with Portland, and everybody was fighting, and Julius Erving was sitting around. You see Hodges just hit 3
3-point shots.
And Horace is feeding him.
That was an incredible sight.
See, now this hurts New York. This is the flagrant foul against Mason. This hurts his team right now. You cannot take a flagrant foul. Purdue 2 free throws, and Chicago with the basketball. See, Ewing is over there. You see Will Purdue, McDaniel.
Purdue only 2 for 6 from the line in this series. Drops a big one here.
It's going to be a 4-point play.
Purdue gets 1 of the 2. And it'll be Chicago ball with the Knicks leading by 8, 3:05 remaining.
Only 2 team fouls. Phil Jackson has elected to keep Scottie Pippen on the bench. You've got Jordan out there on the floor again with Paxson and Hodges. They're out there for their shooting. Michael's going to penetrate, try to find the open shooter.
Ewing came out, then left the paint open, and the pass inside to Grant.
What they've done is they've gone away from their basic triangle offense. They've given Michael Jordan the ball on the top of the floor. He's penetrating, and when New York gives help, finding the open man.
Call it the open offense. It means give it to Michael. Give it to Patrick.
Oh, what a shot!
The basket, and will go to the line. What a performance. Today in the New York Post, there was a headline that said, New York prays to St. Patrick, meaning can he step up and lead his his team to a Game 6 victory and stay alive. What a courageous effort here tonight.
Well, the concentration to finish this shot by Ewing, this is big because it gives them an 8-point lead. If he makes this shot, it pushes it back up to 9, and now time starts to become a factor. 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go. Patrick Ewing has 8 points in this period.
And New York with fouls to give. Purdue with a rebound off the miss. It's a 8-point Knicks lead, 2:35 remaining.
New York's got 2 fouls to waste. They should waste them in the next 30 seconds because then Chicago goes into the penalty. So they need to waste their fouls before it gets to the 2-minute mark.
Hodges off the dribble, has trouble. Paxson spots up. He misses. Rebound, Anthony. You know, that's money in the bank generally. John Paxson has struggled from the perimeter tonight. Starks beats the defense inside and draws the foul. Chicago late getting back. Horace Grant commits the foul.
Michael Jordan wanted the ball in his hands on that last possession. He didn't get it. I saw him look over and he said, guys, get me the basketball. I don't think Michael has scored in this quarter after having the big finish in Game 5.
Jordan had 18 points at the end of the third quarter. He still has 18 points. Coming up right after this one, we'll be going out to Portland. Ron Thulin, Jack Gibbons will have the Suns and the Blazers. Blazers hoping to move on to the Western Conference Finals with a victory tonight.
All right, now, what you've got on the floor right now for Chicago is basically 4 guards. You have Pippen in, Jordan in, Scotty's a big guard, basically Hodges and Paxson. So Pat Riley sees it, and he counters with Wilkins for Oakley. So you basically have 4 little players and 2 centers, Purdue and Ewing. It's going to be very important because Chicago is going to scramble the last 2/12 of this game. New York's going to have to screw it down and not turn the ball over.
Starks gets it. New York has scored 91 points in this game. They've been averaging 88 a game. Starks has 27 and 8 in this fourth period. Purdue with a big basket inside. He's played tough here in the fourth quarter.
See, Gerald Wilkins has just come off the bench cold, too. He's been sitting over there a long time. Be very careful here not to turn the basketball over. So Chicago's going to scramble and trap, do everything they can to disrupt this game.
Under 2 minutes. Knicks up by 8. 10 to shoot.
But Daniel wants it against Paxson in the post.
Anthony has 7. He penetrates. Kicks to Ewing to Starks. Rebound Chicago. Stolen by McDaniel.
Ill-advised shot, but he makes it.
That's the one. The cherry on the sundae. It's a 10-point lead with 1:33 to go. It will require a Chicago miracle to avoid a 7th game. They're rocking and rolling in Madison Square Garden. The Knicks take a 10-point lead with 1:33 to go. Michael Jordan 0 for 5 this quarter. Jordan and Pippen have been held scoreless in the fourth quarter. And New York has outscored Chicago 25-13. It has been the Patrick Ewing show, injured ankle and all.
And John Starks has been a tremendous player in this game. Now, again, Chicago has a foul to waste.
You mean the Knicks?
Excuse me, Nick. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Jordan for 3. He buries it.
See, I mean, just about the time you want to say this game is over. Oh man, almost a walk.
Into Anthony.
They want to use the clock now. Clock is important.
Notice that Greg Anthony, the rookie, staying at point guard in crunch time. Ewing is fouled, and he'll go to the line.
When you go small to scramble the game, the problem you have is if you don't turn the ball over, you don't have big people to guard the basket. Will Purdue looking at a 3-on-1 situation, and I like what Gerald Wilkins did. He rewarded Patrick Ewing. He looked off the other way, gave it to Patrick Ewing. So if Patrick finishes this free throw, you see ball in the middle of the floor here, 3-on-1. He looks off McDaniel. But if he scores, it negates the 3 by Michael Jordan, and you've used up now 22 seconds.
Ewing with 11 points in the fourth quarter. He has 27. That matches the 27 from Starks. With 1:11, Phil Jackson gets timeout, and the Knicks lead it by 10. telecast tonight saying that if the Knicks were to defend their home court, Patrick Ewing would have to lead them.
Well, we talked games 1, 2, and 3, what he's done. Game 4 and 5, only 7 minutes. Look tonight, fourth quarter, 11 points. He's played the entire quarter, 2 rebounds. It's been a courageous effort. They still have 1 minute and 11 to go.
Wilkins punches it away from Jordan. Back to Wilkins from Stark.
Smart play by Wilkins to use the clock, though. Very smart play.
Look at that tenacious defense. Under 1 minute to go.
Smart play, though. You don't need the 2 points right now. You need the clock, and now you're going to get the foul. Smart play.
A 10-point Knicks lead with 53 seconds to go. And Patrick Ewing is getting a standing O from this crowd as he stands all the way at the other end of the floor awaiting the free throws from McDaniel. He goes over to slap the hands of the crowd. You can see him walking on the left of the court. And the hug from Starks. They have combined tonight for 54 points between them.
Bob, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves right now because this game obviously is still not over. But now if you're Pat Riley, what starts going through your head is, how will Patrick Ewing's ankle be on Sunday for Game 7? Because the adrenaline is still flowing. He's warm. Tonight, when he goes to bed, he's probably going to have it iced and all. And when he wakes up tomorrow, it'll be interesting to see what his ankle's like. It looks like there's going to be Game 7.
10-point lead, under 1 minute to go. Remember, the Knicks have a foul to give. It may not even be a factor. McDaniel has 21 points. We talk about Starks and Ewing, and also McDaniel was the man who hit the big bucket that really built the momentum back to where they've held. Coming up right after this, out to Portland, Suns and Blazers. Portland hoping to advance to the Western Conference Final.
Well, it looks like the constants are going to remain. Bench scoring, when New York wins that, they win. First quarter, whoever wins the first quarter wins.
Michael for another three.
Uh-oh. Look at that one.
Starks looks like he hurt his hand on that attempted rebound. McDaniel getting the board. 37 seconds, another foul, and the Knicks can start celebrating.
See if Pat Riley gets Ewing out of the ballgame right now for a big ovation, one he richly deserves. He was a warrior tonight, Bob, under a lot of pressure, and he really answered the call in the fourth quarter. Let's listen to the crowd right now for Patrick Ewing.
27 points, 8 rebounds, and he got 22 shots tonight. 11 points in the fourth quarter for Patrick Ewing. He played big when his team led him. It was Jordan defending the home court in pivotal Game 5 for Chicago. Ewing has answered here, and now over the weekend they'll go back to Chicago for game number 7.
New York 35 in the bench scoring, Chicago 19 plus 16. The rebounding is basically even tonight. I think New York has finally pushed ahead. 30 defensive rebounds to 28 Chicago. 41% field goal shooting. Scottie Pippen, no field goals in the fourth quarter. Michael Jordan, only 1 3-pointer.
13-point Knicks lead. That ties the biggest lead of the game with 37 seconds left. Everybody thought Chicago would sweep the Knicks. The Knicks faltered at the end of the season in the Atlantic Division. Boston won 10 in a row and won the division, and now the Knicks have the world champions reeling.
What's amazing is they scored 100 points. It's the first time in a series 100 points has been scored.
First time in the year for the Knicks. The Knicks didn't score 100 against Chicago during the regular season either. Greg Hodges misses the three. It's the night of the Knicks. A 14-point lead. New York has held Chicago to 16 points in this quarter.
I didn't think they could finish the game like this, Bob. I thought when Ewing got hurt that they were in trouble. Game 7 on Sunday. It should be a doozy.
Ewing limps away as New York takes a 100-86 win